That one's mine.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're taking a look at 10 things you should know before playing Star Wars Outlaws. A massive thanks to Ubisoft for inviting us to play the game during Ubisoft Forward, and again once more with a hands-on demo.
Oh, my jacket's not warm enough for this. Nix, you better curl up close.
Before we begin, we publish new videos all week long, so be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. The story. Star Wars Outlaws takes place between the events of Star Wars Episode 5 The Empire Strikes Back and Star Wars Episode 6 Return of the Jedi. Rather than take control of yet another Jedi or Sith, you play as Kay Vess, a young woman who has made big plans to pull off the biggest heist the galaxy has ever seen. With her trusty grappling hook and her animal friend Nix, who looks a lot like a mix between an axolotl and a weasel, it's pretty cute, Kay will encounter all sorts of dangerous foes and friendlies as she attempts to assemble a crew capable of carrying out her plans. She'll have to sneak into areas and butter up some of the syndicates if she truly is destined to be one of the wiliest scoundrels in the galaxy. Nix.
Good boy.
While Kay does come equipped with a pistol and some other equipment and can modify them to become even more useful, Nix is going to be critical in your mission. Don't let his size fool you. This critter is going to be your Swiss Army knife. He can open doors for you, distract and attack enemies, collect faraway objects, and even sabotage alarms and trigger explosives. Nix is capable of so much more, so make sure you're keeping his abilities in mind for when you're about to infiltrate an area. Trust us, you will need his help. Upgrades.
Great. I'll just leave you to talk this out.
One of the most common complaints about modern Ubisoft games have been how RPG mechanics have soiled plenty of games that didn't need XP-based progression and ludicrously huge skill trees. I know I made that complaint back when I reviewed Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Well, Ubisoft is taking a breather from that in favor of a new system that is much more streamlined and gameplay focused. Rather than farm XP just to get a 2% damage bonus with rifles, Star Wars Outlaws will task you with simple challenges to unlock new abilities and bonuses. These challenges will often be tied to the ability you're trying to get, but performing 10 stealth takedowns isn't going to net you every move in the game. You will have to meet certain characters that can teach you these moves before you start taking on their challenges and unlocking the moves.
What a disappointment.
Making bank. As you explore the galaxy, you will come across plenty of opportunities to make some extra scratch. However, stealing and selling junk sometimes doesn't cut it. If you're a gambling man, you'll have 2 games to earn a ton of extra dough, and maybe more. Ubisoft has implemented a fun card game that is essentially like a reverse blackjack, if you get what we mean. You can even collect cheat tokens on your adventures to help you win these games, or even send Nix over to peek at your opponent's cards. But if you're somebody who prefers a simpler game, you can always place bets on some fathier races. Although something tells us that not every table is rigged the same way.
Pure sabak. Hand him over.
The influence from Watch Dogs.
Tactical coordinator or cat herder. Take your pick.
In case you haven't played any of the Watch Dogs games, they boast some of the most creative level design Ubisoft has ever put out, as some missions will feature multiple solutions to fulfilling a task. Star Wars Outlaws is borrowing a page from that series and approaching missions with the same tactic. Some objectives may be solved in one of 2 or 3 ways. Sure, you may find a more direct path to get you in and out easier, yet a patient player may find a route that leads to hidden rewards or alternate scenarios. Just make sure you check your surroundings before entering restricted areas. Don't want to get caught within the first 2 seconds.
If you want to live through this, you'll get that thing open.
It's not my fault. I told you she wasn't ready.
Just figure it out.
Hacking and lockpicking. Much like the upgrade system, Ubisoft is approaching lockpicking and hacking very differently than their previous games. Both aspects of this game will present even more challenges that can help or hinder you. Lockpicking, for example, is a rhythm-based minigame where you'll have to make your inputs at the exact same time as the locks moving around. Hacking, on the other hand, will present you with a set of glyphs, and you will have to input the correct sequence before running out of guesses. Both of these may seem basic on paper, but Star Wars Outlaws does have some tricks up its sleeve that we won't spoil here. These puzzles can get tricky.
A lot of security here. Crimson Dawn knew what they were doing.
Reputation.
And how do I know Crimson Dawn won't burn me after I pull this off?
You don't, but that's the game we play. And yeah, I play it better than most.
As you weasel your way out of every situation you get caught in, you will have to worry about how certain factions perceive you if you want to stay alive. On each planet you visit, some areas will be restricted unless you gain favor with the Syndicate, which can be earned by making decisions they like or fulfilling their requests. However, the inverse is also possible. Anger a Syndicate too much, and they'll deny you from any area they hold control over. Heck, they may even try to come after you if you're not careful. So tread lightly, don't be afraid to schmooze a bit, and you might be able to manipulate them into helping you out.
Tell the governor the payments will not increase.
The Ubisoft Fair.
Who?
The one Elira was talking about.
Kay Vess?
Keep your voice down.
Another frequent complaint about modern Ubisoft games is how bloated they can all feel. Again, I made the same complaint back when I reviewed Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It can be overwhelming when your HUD is littered with so many icons and messages. This is another change Ubisoft is looking to make with Star Wars Outlaws, and it's a change we noticed in our time with the demo. Certain side missions will be locked behind listening to a conversation between other characters or finding a data log that details key items or locations. In other words, finding many of the side missions will depend on how much time you spend exploring and cluing in on things that sound promising.
Whoa! This thing has some kick.
Massive entertainment.
That looks like an underboss.
Star Wars Outlaws is being developed by one of Ubisoft's own studios, and it's not under one of their many main branches from around the world. Instead, the game was made by Massive Entertainment, the Swedish studio that was acquired by Ubisoft in 2008 after its former parent company, Vivendi Games, merged with Activision Blizzard. Massive Entertainment would co-develop Assassin's Creed Revelations with Ubisoft Montreal in 2010, before developing Tom Clancy's The Division 2, and the 2023 game Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. That said, fans of those games might find a ton to enjoy in Star Wars Outlaws.
Don't let them hurt the Trailblazer.
Launch.
Lots of new plans today.
We are so excited to know that this game is not far from launch. Star Wars Outlaws will launch on August 30th, 2024 for the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and Windows PC. For PC players, you will only be able to buy the game through Epic Games Store, GOG.com, or through Ubisoft's own services. The PC version will also come with DLSS 3 support, ray tracing, and more with an 8GB RAM requirement. The standard edition of Star Wars Outlaws will cost you $69.99 USD at launch, and story expansions are planned to drop in the following months. All that said, are you planning to pick up Star Wars Outlaws?
We've got a welcoming committee.
Welcoming committee. Thoughtful of you.
Let us know down in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays for more great videos every day.